Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by unbeaten lightweight Tito Mercado. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you. You're back out next week, again in California, building quite a fan base in that area of the country. You've not been on the channel before, so I guess start off by telling us how you first got into boxing.
Yeah, I started boxing at the age of 4. I initially got myself into it. I saw my father training my uncle, and I kind of just, booted myself in there. A lot of times they say the father is the one that kind of introduces the son to it, and I kind of threw myself into it, and I feel like we've done a lot so far since then.
That's very young, 4 years old. Were you kind of, what was it that attracted you to it?
Really, I think the passion that I see my father with training my uncle, and the fact that my father was really gang affiliated, always in the streets, so I never really had that much time to really spend with him. And I think I saw that as a way, even it's kind of crazy as a little kid that I kind of saw that. I saw it as a way to spend more time with him in a way. So I was like, it looks fun and I want to do it. And then the next day, I started waking up at 5 in the morning to go run. So it's been a journey, man.
And you didn't change your mind when that happened.
Nah, I ain't changed my mind. Even when times got tough, man, I stuck through it, and like I said, I feel like it's paid off and it's been very successful for me so far.
What sort of impact did it have on your father as well? Because I'm guessing kind of putting all his time and dedication into his son, there was less opportunity for him to go out and do the things he was doing previously.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's helped about a lot as well. I mean, it saved my life and his, because I mean, we were both in an area where there's a lot of gang violence, and it's easy to get caught up in those type of things. And I think it, like you said, spending a lot of his time inside the gym instead of in the streets, it kind of, kept his focus away from all that, and kind of focus on the bigger picture a little bit more. And since then, we also have a boxing gym where we help and mentor other kids, and we're doing a lot of great things with it. We're helping other people out as well now. So I think it's been a blessing, and I think we're doing a lot of great things now.
What sort of age were you when you realized that boxing could be your career rather than just something you were good at or a sport that you competed in?
I felt like I always knew I was good at a young age, but I felt like that that switch that kind of hit me when I turned about 16 years old, when I started just winning consecutively nonstop, and I felt like I was in full control of, in a fight, or with any tournament I wanted to be in. I felt like I was in full control to whether I wanted to win it all or not. I felt like I was in control of doing whatever I wanted, and that's when I kind of knew.
And I believe you were very close to going to the most recent Olympics for a couple of different nations. Just tell us the kind of story of that, first with the US and the alternate status, and then the second kind of chance after that.
Yeah, so initially I was the finalist. I was the alternate for the U.S. I was supposed to have a box off with Keyshawn Davis. Unfortunately, the box off wasn't able to happen. A lot of politics involved. When you hear politics about stuff like that, and until it actually happens to you, you kind of in shock a little bit. And they basically told me that they invested too much money in him, and that they, even if I beat him in the box off and the selection process that they had, that they were still gonna choose him. So when you kind of hear those things, you're like, then it kind of bums you out. And they told me that I could still be the alternate and spar with them and go to camp with them. But I ain't nobody's alternate or sparring partner, especially not Keyshawn Davis. So soon after that, not long, because I decided to leave. I'm like I said, I'm not nobody's alternate. When they crush my dreams like that, and they pretty much tell me to my face, like, I have no shame. I shouldn't have no shame in leaving. And soon after that, Nicaragua called me, where my father was born at, and they called me and they told me if I wanted to try out for their team the right way and box off, and I said I would love to. And they flew me out over there. I fought a couple of days and I earned my spot. Unfortunately, Argentina closed down the country a week before I was going to qualify, so they said they're going to do it based on hand selection and hand pick. So it was kind of like you know random.
And you said you're no one's alternate, especially not Keyshawn Davis. Obviously, it wasn't his choice to be picked ahead of you without a box off. But where's that rivalry stem from between you and him?
There's definitely some tension between me and him. Whether or not, I feel like it's gonna just, even though unfortunately he took the spot that I wanted, then that means I'm gonna take something from him that he wants in the pro game. I think that's the only way to make it fair, and I can't wait till we fight, because I know it's gonna build up a lot, and I know, a lot of boxing writers and stuff, they're making it out to be a big fight, which surely will be. and I can't wait for that type of the fight to happen because I think it's gonna be fireworks, and I will be victorious, and I can't wait to take something away that he took away from me.
Did you have any sort of relationship with him before the whole situation with the selection?
No, I did not. I feel like it was a lot of, like I said, politics, a lot of controversy. You know, even on the selection process, how could you have, his main coach, which I mean was not even his main coach in the beginning. He's had him way after he got selected. K. Karoma. How can your coach be one of the guys that decides whether you're going to be in the Olympic team or not? That seems like very how you say it. That's a lot of how do you say that self that's a conflict as of the loan already. He's already deciding the points and stuff on, and he's giving me advice and sparring and stuff like that. And I feel like they were giving me all the wrong advice,
Right.
to get my ass whooped in sparring. Now, and I just felt it just felt real off, man, over there. And just to actually live through all that is pretty crazy. But like I said, I'll see him down the line, and we'll see who really the best is when we get in that room.
Did you watch him in the Olympics themselves?
Yeah, I did watch the Olympics. I did watch it. I mean, what more could I say, man? I mean, Andy Cruz is a hell of a fighter, and it's just unfortunate. A guy that just received so many silver medals that they wouldn't consider another option. Maybe this is the guy that could take it to get us that gold medal. But USA does what they do best, and they look out for themselves.
You've adapted to the pros like a duck to water, doing very well, as I said, building a fan base. What's the kind of longer term plan for you? How do you see yourself going from where you are now to challenging for titles?
Yeah, by the end of the year, man, we're trying to at least be, we're trying to get a couple more fights in, at least be 11, 10 and 0 with some type of belt, and hopefully be challenging for the belt next year, whether it's later on the year or during the middle of the year. And we just want to get those shots, man. I know Devin Haney holds all of them right now, so it might be a little tricky to get in that position because I know there's a lot of guys, waiting for their spot. But definitely when that shot presents itself, hopefully I'm able to get that next year.
How comfortable do you find making 135? Because you must still be growing.
I find it fairly comfortable. I mean, it's nothing crazy. Of course, everything requires a little sacrifice. I'm a pretty big lightweight, but nonetheless, I feel like I can make the weight, and I feel like it's gonna be a big problem for a lot of these guys who are a lot smaller in that weight class.
When you were first coming up, obviously you were heavily influenced by your family who were involved in boxing. But who were the boxers you liked to watch or that you looked up to?
Sugar Ray Leonard, Alexis Arguello, Salvador Sanchez. A couple names to throw out there.
That's kind of a generation before the ones I would have expected you to see at your age. Was that kind of from your father's influence?
Yeah, I would say, and I think those type of fighters always just caught my eye. Fighters from now, I'm a big boxing fan. I still watch the fights, but it's hard to really catch my eye when I'm watching fights now because they weren't how they used to make them. Back then the fighters were a lot more exciting. They all wanted to fight each other, and they were more. I think they were more killers and finishers. A lot of time I find fighters now they're comfortable with doing just enough to win the fight and not excel. And I think that was the difference for me on wanting to watch more of the old school generation more than that it is now.
It sounds like you see yourself as a bit of a throwback.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think the way that I'm keeping myself busy as well, almost 8 fights, within a year. I want to stay busy, and like I said, I'm a killer, man. I like to finish these guys off. I don't like to do just enough to win a fight. I like to go there and make a statement.
How would you describe your style for people out there who haven't seen you box yet?
Basically, man, just a boxer puncher. I can move around, but I like to crack. And I think that's why a lot of these people from Southern California or anybody in general like to once they see one of my fights, they want to keep watching because they know that I'm coming in there and I'm coming in there to fight. At the end of the day, people want to come see knockouts. They don't want to go to see tips out. They want to see knockouts, and it's unfortunate. Of course, a lot of it comes with skills, but they want to see knockouts.
What can we expect from next week? I looked on BoxRec earlier. There isn't an opponent listed, although presumably you probably know who it is. What sort of fight can we expect next week?
You can expect a guy that's gonna be a tough guy, tough veteran. We're trying to always, upgrade the opponent every time, so I can develop a lot better, go a couple more rounds. But you're gonna see a knockout, man. You're gonna see another impressive knockout. I've been training a lot. I've been sparring a lot with good opponents. So it's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait to show everybody what I've been working on, and I can't wait.
Tell us some of the people you have sparred so far and kind of who you've learned most from sparring against.
Man, I sparred a lot of guys, but I think the one I learned the most from was probably Tito.
Wow.
He he's a guy that, man, he's a lot of little tricks, and in the inside, man, it's dangerous fighting with him in the inside.
He's obviously a bit smaller than you, but I imagine there's a big speed advantage for him as well. It must be quite tough to pin him down.
Yeah, no, he's a. You'd be surprised. He walks around pretty heavy, but
Okay.
you know, of course, he's a smaller guy, and he just like I said, man, he knows how to work his stuff. You know, I feel like I give him. He told me he learned a lot from me as well, and that's an honor because you know he's done so much in his career compared to me. You know, and for him to say that he learned a lot from me, that's definitely, you know, an honor to hear that, especially being from my country. And you know, man, just, you know, seeing the way he, you know, it's hard sometimes to not be a fan when you're sparring him because you see him doing all these little tricks, and the inside you just want to pause for a minute, but he paused. So it's definitely tricky with him, man. But nonetheless, I learned a lot from him, man. He's such a great fighter.
Awesome. Now, before I let you go, people out there who maybe are only just coming across you for the first time, let them know how they can follow you on the different social media platforms so they can keep up with what you're doing.
Yeah, you can follow me on all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, everything at Real Tito Mercado.
Excellent. Really appreciate your time. Very best of luck for next week. Do you know if there's a way to watch it online, especially for guys over here?
Yeah, it's gonna be on an app called Fight TV. And
Awesome.
then you should be able to find it on their. I mean, if you go on my Instagram, I'll definitely post a link as well. But it's gonna be on their app called Fight TV, and then I believe just search it up under Fight Club OC.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll tune into that. And yeah, let's catch up again before the next one.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
Thank you.